Okay, unlike the 2022 World Cup, this time we actually have two friendlies to prepare. We're going to be playing Senegal first on the 31st, and then after that we play Germany. Two very good teams, two very strong teams. But today, we're going to mainly talk about Senegal. Hello. If you're new here, I'm Filippo, and welcome to Tactical Manager TV. And today we have the ultimate United States versus Senegal match preview. Senegal, a team that I very much respect, a potential dark horse for the 2026 World Cup. And now, let me tell you how this is going to go. First, we're going to go through when and where to watch the game, and then I'm going to give you the updates on the U.S. men's national team about any injuries or potential players that won't be available for the game, along with our projected starting 11. And for the Senegal section of this video, I'm going to be bringing Jack from Deadball TV. Not Jack from Titanic, that guy died. Jack from Deadball TV. And listen, before we start this video, I would like to kindly ask you to drop a like. As always, it helps the channel a lot. Subscribe to the channel as well so you don't miss out on the content. And I want to say one thing. This is a friendly. It's not the World Cup. So the result itself does not matter too much. How we play matters more. I would rather see us play well and lose 1-0, 2-1 than get a lucky 1-0 win. Back in 2018, when we didn't qualify for the 2018 World Cup, right, we had a friendly before that World Cup where we tied France that won the World Cup. So the result on its own does not matter too much, but how we play. All right, let's roll the intro and start the episode. The U.S. men's national team is set to face Senegal this Sunday, May 31st at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time in a friendly to prepare for the 2026 World Cup. This game will be played in the beautiful Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, if you are in the United States, you can watch this game on TNT, Telemundo, HBO Max, and even Peacock. And of course, we will be doing a live watch along here at the channel. You can join us. I do not know if Spicy Jeff will be there. You can ask him. Maybe you guys are talking to him right now. Who knows? So we will be doing a live watch along this Sunday, so make sure to tune in for that. Because your other options would be to listen to Landon Donovan, Stu Holden. Like, these are the people that make my ratings go up. Now, in terms of record between both of these nations, believe it or not, the United States and Senegal have never faced each other throughout history. This is the first time we're going to watch Senegal and the United States face each other. Now, before we continue and talk about the U.S. men's national team projected starting 11, injuries, and any news and updates, a quick word from the sponsor of this video, Underdog, and make sure you sign up because we're going to have a free-to-play game. Yes, you heard that right, free-to-play game, which is a bracket where you guys are essentially going to go against me. Okay, we'll be back in 60 seconds. Don't go anywhere. So, the biggest soccer event in the world will happen here in the United States this summer. Or shall I say, the biggest sporting event in the world. And you know what can make it a little bit more exciting? Underdog. And the game I like to play at Underdog is called Pick'em. And it's very easy to play. I just click on it, scroll to the soccer section, pick a player for a specific match, and select the stats I believe will be lower or higher. It's very easy to play. I usually pick the downside of the stats because hate watching a player is much more fun. Trust me. But then again, analyze the players, his stats, who they're facing, and how he has been doing before you make your pick so you can make sure to win. Underdog also has their very own predictions market. And you can download the app right now using the link in the description of this video and the promo code TACTICAL. And in the process, you'll be helping the channel and yourself. Because new customers get $50 in bonus entries after they play $5 and use the promo code TACTICAL. We got very creative with it. So again, don't forget to use the link in the description and the promo code TACTICAL. And thank you very much, Underdog, for sponsoring the channel. All right. We are back, and hopefully by now you have smashed the like button and we're set for this video because I do not want to request it ever again throughout this episode. Now, in terms of the roster, injuries, updates, I'm not going to talk about the roster. We did a stream when the roster leaked, which was a interesting one. It was kind of funny because it ruined the whole show that Fox had for the roster release. And I talked about how I was eating a burrito. I dropped the burrito because I was away. I wasn't home and I had to run back to do the stream. So I'm not going to talk about it. We also did a 7 Things We Learned episode. I'm just going to skip right to it. we're going to talk about the projected starting 11 to face Senegal. First and foremost, I'm going to assume it's a 3-4-2-1 formation because when we played the 4-2-3-1, we didn't look as good as the 3-4-2-1. He likes to play with wingbacks. They provide the width. The wingers are tucked inside to play as attacking midfielders. So I'm going to assume it's that formation. I am also going to assume it'll be the starting 11 that is preferred by Pochettino as if the World Cup started today, because as far as we know at the time of this recording, everyone in the roster is fully fit. Everyone in the roster is fully healthy. Okay, so on goal, Matt Freese, even though he's not number 1 when it comes to the jersey numbers, that's Matt Turner. Matt Freese is number 24. He will very likely be the starter. The back three, I'm expecting to be Alex Freeman as the right center back, Chris Richards as the central center back, Tim Ream as the left center back. On the right wing back position, we have Serginho Dest. On the left wing back position, we have Anthony Robinson. The double pivot will very likely be Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie. And listen, usually Pochettino utilizes McKennie as an attacking midfielder, but I just find it hard to believe that he would start Sebastian Berhalter or Roldan in the World Cup, even though that could happen. So I'm assuming Weston McKennie was called in to be in the double pivot. Now, the attacking midfield options would be Malik Tillman from Bayer Leverkusen, Gio Reyna, Christian Pulisic, and Dejas, and I think Pochettino will start Tillman and Pulisic. Now, could Reyna start? Maybe. I think Malik Tillman has more goals in him than Gio Reyna. Gio Reyna is more of a playmaker, but ultimately, I think he's going to go with Malik Tillman for this game, Christian Pulisic alongside. And then up top, it's Balogun. I mean, at this point, there's no doubt in my mind that Balogun is the number 1 up top, the starting center forward. Even though Ricardo Pepi got the number 9 jersey, that does not mean much. Now, with that said, make sure to drop a like in this video if you haven't already. We are going to bring in Jack from Deadball TV. He knows a lot about Senegal, so he's going to come in and tell us everything you need to know about a World Cup, a potential World Cup dark horse, and the opponent of the U.S. men's national team this Sunday. All right, for the Senegal section of this video, we have someone that no one really expected, because you're not Senegalese, are you? Are you?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. It's not
passport.
confirmed, but unlikely, I would say.
Okay, but you're allowed to talk about them.
I think I have the pass, yeah.
Yeah. So, look, guys, I wouldn't have brought Jack if I didn't trust his ball knowledge, which sometimes it's not that high, but when it comes to African nations, Asian nations, this has to be my go-to guy. So instead of me yapping about Senegal, which I know a little bit, I brought someone that knows a lot about them. Jack, I'm going to put your tweet very soon. You talked about them possibly being a quarterfinalist, and I'm not going to lie to you, on my other channel, I made a dark horse video about candidates, and Senegal was one of them. I do think there are issues with their bracket that might be a problem for them to make it to the quarterfinals, but not a quality problem. But why don't we start? I want the Americans to know, what are we going to face here? Because this might be, is it fair to say, is this the best African nation right now?
Oh, you're asking me a loaded question to start this video. My opinion is yes.
Unload it. Yes?
It is 100% yes. There are contenders for this, Morocco being the main one. But I think as a total team, factoring in strength of the 11, accomplishments, depth as well, I do think Senegal are the best team, though I would say Morocco are second. And third, you can have an argument, which is not relevant for the sake of this video. But yep, Senegal would be number 1 heading into the World Cup for me. So
one thing about African nations that is very tough to evaluate is that they play very much among each other throughout World Cup cycles. Senegal had a very successful cycle. I watched them play against Brazil. They lost 2-0 in that friendly. Again, it's a friendly, and Senegal didn't do poorly. Before I get to their roster and even a few of the results, this was their World Cup qualifying campaign. Was there anything that you noticed here in terms of results, or even what you watched or followed along, anything that was alarming? They topped the group of Congo just by 2 points, so it's not that big, but they went undefeated. That must be said. What are your thoughts on what happened in World Cup qualifying?
Yeah, Senegal, for me, is a team that when you watch them, they don't really run up the score that often in most of their games. And I think CAF World Cup qualifying is especially brutal. It is very common. You will see the bigger teams beating a minnow of Africa, you could say, 1-0, 2-0, and regularly dropping points. So some people might look at this and be like, man, they finished 2 points above Congo. Congo are trash, which is not true. Congo are a very good national team, and I think they'll cause Colombia and Portugal problems at the World Cup. I think this is just a bigger team, taking care of business, not having to get too crazy at any single point. They had some very, very good competitive games against DR Congo, who they played again in the last AFCON. So they just keep going head to head against them. And Congo are a very good defensive team. So they were able to take points off Senegal in qualifying. I wouldn't say there was any alarms. This is kind of classic Senegal since 2019, in my opinion. You know, just winning games consistently, being very difficult to beat. But they're not doing, you know, what Spain did against Turkey, 6-0 in World Cup qualifying. You're just not really going to see too many games like that from these guys.
And correct me if I'm wrong here. I counted 8 clean sheets in 10 games.
Very good
So
defensive team.
okay, and I talk about this on my Underdog video or Dark Horse video of the World Cup. I've never seen a Dark Horse in the World Cup with a bad defense. That's like the priority, right? Because you're technically
Correct.
going to have to pull upsets, and you can't pull upsets if you don't have a very solid defense. So why don't I put up maybe their roster here in your tweet, because that way you can maybe walk us through players to watch out for. Why is this such a strong team? It seemed like you had a lot of praise in terms of like the name, the players on paper. And this is what you posted their roster. Well, right away, goalkeepers. Edouard Mendy, their starter right now.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, everyone knows Mendy, right? That played for Chelsea, great goalkeeper. Big names here that you would call out, or names to watch, prospects. What do you
Yeah,
have to
let's
say?
go position by position. So we'll start with the defense. I would say their most popular player here, and Filippo, you correct me, Kalidou Koulibaly, probably the
Mhm.
one that most people are most familiar with. So he is
Yeah.
actually injured right now, is my understanding, and I don't know when the return date is going to be. So for the sake of the USA friendly, what we're probably going to see is Niakate and Mamadou Sarr, who's playing for Chelsea right now. That will most likely be the center back pairing for the
Mhm.
USA game, maybe even the first group stage game as well. I don't know. It's hard to find reliable Senegalese information because it's usually in French as well, and translate doesn't work super well.
And
So,
because you're not from Senegal, I just
and
have to
because I'm
remind everyone of that.
probably not Senegalese. I will check ancestry.com after this video, but I don't remember seeing anything there. That's going to be the center back pairing that you're going to see, which maybe some American fans are thinking, oh, great, we can totally capitalize on this pairing that's never played together. They actually played together in the AFCON final against Morocco, which maybe they won, maybe they didn't. We're still waiting on a court decision on that. And they played
No, they
very
won.
well in
They
that game.
won. The court doesn't
They
matter.
won?
They won.
Okay. Well, that's what I think. But
Yeah.
you know, for legal reasons, I think I have to state that this is going to the Court of Arbitration of Sport, and it is pending a decision.
Okay.
But if you ask me who won, just like if you ask me who's the best African national team, I would say is Senegal.
And then that's the defense. Midfielders.
Yeah, so the starting midfield is probably going to be Idrissa Gana Gueye, who I feel like people should know as well. I think he's 34, 35 years old at this point, been in Europe for a long time, a very good defensive midfielder. Pop Gay is, I think, the underrated player in the entire Senegalese lineup. Plays for Villarreal, which nobody really watches La Liga. It doesn't really have too much clout outside of Barca and Real Madrid. Even Atleti, I very rarely meet another Atleti fan in the wild. Guy's just a really good box-to-box midfielder, got a cannon of a leg, scored the winner in the AFCON final. If you guys want to look up his goal, it was just disgusting. Such a good finish. And Lamine Camara, who's playing for Monaco right now, probably one of the potential breakout stars in the midfield position of the whole freaking World Cup. Like, not just Senegal, like definitely a guy who gives this midfield legs. Very complete midfielder. Super exciting to watch. That's my breakdown here. And then some of the depth options. I'm not familiar with everybody, but Pop Matar Sarr for Tottenham does start from time to time for them as well.
And then you have the forwards. Obviously, Sadio Mane.
Oh, yeah,
If
man.
you're not familiar with him, you probably started following soccer like 6 months ago, or whenever he went to Saudi
Probably.
Arabia 1 year ago. And then obviously, does Nicholas Jackson start for them?
He did start games at the AFCON. Is he going to start at the World Cup? I think he will to begin the tournament. And I think Pop Tial, the manager, is going to give him another opportunity to do something, basically. And if he doesn't, he'll probably get dropped for somebody else. But I would expect Jackson to start day one. This attacker section is really where I think Senegal are just absolutely disgusting. I mean, Sadio Mane, Ismaila Sarr, Njaye from Everton, dribble god. Asana Diao, really underrated player. Ibrahim Mbaye, I think he's 19, one of the like upcoming gems of African football. He's got a ridiculous, I think he
Where
scored
does
like
he play?
3 goals and 2 assists. Sorry?
Where does he play?
PSG.
Oh, he's at PSG. I didn't see him playing for PSG.
He doesn't really play. Now, I've seen
Hmm.
rumors that they're going to offload him to someone else. I don't like any big team should be looking at Ibrahim Mbaye this summer. Like, if that's the case and PSG are really thinking this guy's not good enough, that's awful for PSG. Excellent for anyone in the buying market for a prolific right winger. I would go for him immediately.
Mhm.
This guy is saucy, man. I think hopefully he gets minutes against the States. He did start against Gambia in their last friendly. He does get starts from time to time with Senegal, but much more of like a super sub for them. And like, I think he's got 3 goals, 2 assists, and like, I don't know, 200 minutes played for the national team or something. Like he's been starting very well with Senegal.
So this is a complete team, right? The defense
Yes.
is very strong defense, good goalkeeper, very hardworking midfield from what it looks like, even though maybe it'll lack some creativity. Would you say that?
That's fair to say.
Yeah,
That's
but
very
very
fair to say.
hardworking midfielder, tough midfield to beat, and then up top, the options are endless. Like if someone's sucking, you have an option off the bench to fix things. So interesting matchup for the United States in this first friendly to prep for the World Cup. It could go bad. It could go well. I do think one thing we could appreciate from the U.S. is that they're picking a very tough game, right? They're picking an opponent that if the U.S. wants to do something in the World Cup, you have to be able to play against teams like Senegal, right? We're not going there to beat up a Honduras that didn't qualify to the World Cup just so we get a confidence boost. Like, no, if we're going to get our asses whooped, get it whooped right now. Let's
Stat
learn from
padding
it.
against El Salvador.
Yeah, essentially, I think that we all know enough about Senegal now that we know what to expect in this game. And under normal circumstances, the United States are most certainly not the favorites. Jack, anything else you want to say before we wrap things up?
Are you personally going to put that much stock in the result of this friendly?
No, especially before the World Cup. I've learned this a long time ago.
That's kind of where I'm at. I maybe
think
Senegal loses. It would not change my opinion of the team whatsoever. I wouldn't be scrambling to publish a video where, the title's like, I was wrong, and it's Sadio Mane's face in the thumbnail. Like that wouldn't, I'm going to take away basically nothing, I think.
No, I wouldn't say nothing. There's like starting 11 of the United States, see how they do, like patterns of play, see if there's some improvement. Who's Pochettino choosing? But overall, yes, the result, I won't look into it too much because, I mean, the U.S. didn't qualify to the 2018 World Cup. And we saw France tie the United States in a pre-World Cup friendly and then go on to win the World Cup. So these friendlies, the American players, the Senegalese players, regardless of them wanting to win and playing hard, they don't want to get injured right before the World Cup. There's a lot at stake. So no, but I do think the result matters. I do think like how each team plays matters. But no, like Senegal loses 2-0 to the US, like, oh, they're doomed. They're getting grouped in the World Cup. No, and the US also, they can beat Senegal and get grouped in the World Cup. So I agree with you. I wouldn't really look into the result too much.
I think both teams will want to. I think what you want to avoid is a humiliation.
Yeah.
Like you don't want Senegal to win 4-0. That would be pretty bad. Like there are certain results in friendlies. I don't want to go on a tangent here because I know you like shorter YouTube videos, but people always say friendlies like don't matter at all, which is just ridiculous because like how many managers have been sacked literally off of a friendly result? I mean, I can think of Hervé Renard right now with Saudi Arabia. Got smacked by Egypt. Goodbye. Done. So clearly they have an impact. I think at this point of everyone's World Cup preparation, you just want to walk away from this friendly with a couple positives. That positive could be we tied Senegal 1-1. It could be we beat Senegal 1-0. Or it could be, Chris Richards, who had an injury scare, actually just looked really good against, Ismail Assar, who's been cutting up at Crystal Palace this season. Like that's kind of what you want. You don't want to lose 3-0, 4-0, because something catastrophic could have a psychological impact on the players. But anything outside of that,
you want to look competent. Like if you go out of the game and you lost to Senegal, but you look competent, you can build off that. But yes, if we go there and we lose 4-0 or 5-0, that can have an impact in the morale that will drag into the World Cup. And then the debut game against Paraguay could also not go well. It's a very confidence matters, and that's the big thing. Now, obviously, winning it does boost the confidence of the players. And the U.S. has two tough games before the World Cup. They play Senegal, then they play Germany. They definitely did not pick teams to just stat pad and just like get the confidence up. They got teams to actually test themselves. I appreciate that. I think it's the right thing to do. Everyone, make sure to go check out Deadball TV. If you don't know him by now, you probably should have, because I've had him on a few times. And I'll have him on the other channel too, the other channel that we have, Chappelle Football. For that one, we have a predictions video. So that one, I'm not going to just give him the mic. There's going to be a lot of back and forth, and that'll be next week on the Chappelle Football channel. Jack, thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like before you go, and let us know in the comment section down below your score prediction for United States versus Senegal. And that's all for today. I'll see you on Sunday for the live watch along. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.